Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Azapi here, back again with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We are on episode 6, and in the last episode we got a little bit more time with Scar, who went after Edward, Elric specifically. Alphonse, obviously, just being the brother, was kind of just there, and everything like that. But of course he was always going to go after Edward, because Edward had, you know, well, first of all, he was a state alchemist, so there is that. But then also the fact that he did, you know, human transmutation and everything like that. But you know what I'm thinking is that I don't even know if Scar even, like, how would Scar know about that anyway? So it feels like he's just going after state alchemists, which kind of puts I don't know. It's just that anyone that does any alchemy, I suppose, at least to the reconstruction phase, that's, you know, somebody worth getting rid of, I suppose, for the good of Ishvala. You know, so, you know, we'll see what goes with that. I mean, I feel like he's just kind of off in the wilderness now and can, like, appear at any moment. You know, just keep on killing people off as he sees fit. But yeah. So yeah, we got introduced to a new member of the terrorist group, the evil group, whatever the hell you want to call them, Envy. So it seems that they're being named after 7 deadly sins. So we've got Gluttony, Envy. I still don't know the exact name of the woman, but apparently her name has already been mentioned. I already talked about it last episode, but I'm going to go with Lust for now, just because she's that sexy woman archetype. So we'll just go with that. I could be wrong, but I'm sure I'll get, you know, there'll be confirmation when, you know, when her name is eventually said again. But yeah, so yeah, it was definitely an interesting episode because we got a little bit more into the you know, Ishvala and everything that happened there and how it started and everything like that. So there is some sort of justification, at least for the hate of the, you know, the two, you know, state alchemists and Ishvala. So yeah, there is that. And yeah, because Edward and Alphonse got battered last episode, Edward lost his auto-mail arm, so they're heading back to Rezembul, I believe, to get another arm. So yeah, we're going to go see Winry. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything else to really get into. So yeah, I think we're just going to get in episode 6. As always, the reaction will be here on YouTube for this show, unless it gets taken down for copyright, in which case I will re-upload the video, as this video will be discussion only, and then the link to the reaction will be in the description below, if that is the case. There's also the link to the full length if you actually want to watch this reaction in full, and not just the 10-minute cut version, then the offer is there for you. But yes, nothing else to talk about, so we're going to get in episode 6, see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Rodafo.
Would you mind telling me what the Major's doing here?
For protection.
He's coming down with
Scar
him.
came after you again. You're in no shape for a fight now, Ed.
Are you sure Al made it on board?
Of course.
With the sheep?
I thought he might get lonely with that little
My
company.
brother isn't some kind of farm animal!
Oh,
Pretty
it's time.
hell.
Dr. Marco! It's me, Alex Louis Armstrong from Central.
He's fucking traumatized.
He's from Central. He was researching into possible medical applications of alchemy. But after the Ishvalan Civil War, he went missing, just disappeared.
A guy like this doctor might know some useful things about bioalchemy.
That man looks like Dr. Morrow to me.
Morrow?
He's
All
changed his
of our
name a
town's
bit.
doctors were drafted to help on the battlefields during the Civil War. Then Dr. Morrow came here.
We're lucky he's here.
You see this big bright flash of light and then you're cured, just like that.
Hello?
Bloody hell,
Tell
dude.
me what you two are doing here. Have you come to take me back?
You gotta kill them there.
Doctor, calm down.
I won't be tricked by you.
I'll ask you one more time, please calm down! So, you changed your name.
This is
decided
still
to
in a
live
crate.
hiding way out here in the countryside. If the rumors I've heard can be believed, when you disappeared, you took top-secret materials with you.
Order or no order, to have to dirty my hands researching that thing was too much.
What thing is that?
During the Civil War, so many innocent died because of it. I could spend my whole life trying and still never atone for the things I've done. The Philosopher's Stone. The top secret
Okay.
materials I took were my research documents, and the stone itself.
You mean you
So
still
he
have
has
it?
it?
It's here?
Is it
can that be the stone? It's
Made
liquid.
elixir out of it? Oh, it... What?
The Sage's Stone, the Grand Elixir, the Celestial Stone, the Red Tincture, the Fifth Element. Just as the Philosopher's Stone is called by many names, so it can take on many forms.
It's globular.
This is an incomplete product, however.
Finished or not, it demonstrated plenty of power during the Ishvalan Civil War, right? It's just like the stone that false priest had in Lior. It was incomplete, but it still amplified his powers considerably. Who's to say a complete product can't be created? Please, Dr. Marco, I need access to your research materials.
Thing is, he wouldn't want to be
After the
given...
war, there were many state alchemists who turned in their certifications because they refused to serve as human weapons anymore. And now a child.
You think I don't know what I've signed up for? If this is a mistake, then it's a mistake I have to make. There is no other way.
So you've committed the taboo, the ability to transmute a specific person's soul like this. Maybe one as talented as you would be able to produce a complete Philosopher's Stone.
So,
But I can't show you my research.
not even if it's to get our bodies back?
Never. This is the devil's research. If you chase the stone, you will go through hell.
I've already been through hell!
Even an incomplete Philosopher's Stone could be useful. You could have taken it from the doctor by force.
We don't want it so badly that we'd be willing to deprive this town of their only doctor to get it.
How do you feel about not reporting back to Central on Dr. Marco's location?
I met a simple small-town doctor today. I can't see any real reason to report that.
Dr. Marco?
This is where my materials are. If you're certain you won't regret learning the truth in the end, start looking here. Look closely. Maybe you'll find the truth hidden within the truth.
National Central Library, first branch.
I get it. Like hiding a tree in the forest.
Finally, another clue about the stone.
I've been looking for you, Marco.
Jesus Christ.
Winry! Our best customers here.
Yo, Granny!
We're home!
A lot has happened. Can you fix us up? This is Major Alex Louise Armstrong.
Edward, I thought I told you to call first when you're heading back here for maintenance.
Winry! Are you trying to kill me?
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh no! Ed, do you see what you've done to my beautiful creation? I slaved over this!
It's basically the same, it's just in smaller pieces.
What kind of trouble have you two been getting yourselves into?
That's
Idiots! All you ever do is worry me.
Kind of a rush order.
the first time I noticed a dog who has a
It's not just the arm.
an
The
automail
leg
on.
needs adjusting too. Shape the arms in. We'll have to build it from scratch.
Is there any chance you can have it done in a week?
Give us some credit, Ed. 3 days. But you'll have to make do with this spare for now.
It's a little difficult to walk on a leg I'm not used to.
Between machining, assembly, connecting, and finishing, that's 3 all-nighters.
I'm sorry for all the trouble.
Well, you want to get to Central as soon as possible, right? Then I'll work my butt off for you.
The wood you requested.
Oh,
I haven't seen Edward anywhere around the house in a while.
yeah. He said he was going off to visit his mother's grave. What kind of lives are the boys leading these days? They have yet to send us so much as a single letter.
Ed and Al are well known for their alchemy. Sometimes that gets them into trouble. They seem to have a knack for finding it. But don't worry, they're all right. You speak of the Elrics as though they were your grandsons.
Of course, I've been watching over them since they were born.
He
Where
sent
are young
someone.
Winry's parents?
Gone, Major. They both died in the Civil War.
It was terrible. War.
Yes, it was indeed. You look like you could eat a lot, but don't worry, there's plenty.
Oh no, please don't trouble yourself on my account.
Food always tastes better with guests anyway. The boys don't have anywhere else
Yeah.
to stay but here. Adding one more guest won't be any inconvenience to us.
What about the house they grew up in?
The brothers don't have any home to return to. The
Oh.
day they left after Ed had gotten his state certification,
So they did burn it down.
they burned down their own house. My guess is they did it because with no house to come home to, there could be no turning back.
I'm back.
Oh, Edward Elric! What an yielding love to try and bring your mother back to life! What determination to burn down your own house to make sure there was no retreat!
Don't rub your chest on me!
I wouldn't even think even if they did have the house, they would want to stay there anyway, you know? Still working.
Look at you working hard so early in the morning.
Been up all night.
You're still at it, busy as a bee. At this rate, you must be almost done.
One more all-nighter.
Oh, 3 days of no sleep. Fucking hell.
Get out! Here you go! It's all ready!
It's done.
Ready?
Yeah.
On 1,
2,
3.
That's the worst part every time, when the nerves have to connect like that.
Oh, God.
Once we
Yeah.
have the Philosopher's Stone, I can kiss that pain goodbye.
it's just so lovely! The smell of oil, the hum of the ball bearings. My automail.
Crazy gearhead.
You're lost without me, alchemy freak.
Well,
Good as new.
Yeah, it feels good.
I increased the percentage of chrome this time, so it should be less prone to rusting. The trade-off is that it's not quite as strong, so don't try anything crazy. Hey, listen
God,
up!
really? Oh,
Major, you see that seal on the inside of his back? That's the medium between Al's soul and the armor. So I have to be sure not to ruin it.
so he has to keep that bit
There you
intact
go.
the whole time.
Good as new.
it'll be quiet around here without those boys.
Well, brother?
Yep, it's time to head to Central and find Dr. Marco's documents.
How old are the two of you boys now?
I'm 14, and brother's 15.
To think someone as young and as small as he is could be used as a human weapon.
Granny, Winry, I'm so grateful to you for always welcoming us like we're really family. He won't ever say it, but I know brother feels the same way.
So proud.
Yeah, we know he feels that way too.
Thank you.
Freaking Armstrong, man.
Thank you again for everything, Granny.
Hey, where's Winry?
Resting. She stayed up 3 nights in a row. Hold on a second, boys. You should come back once in a while and have dinner with us.
You want us to come all this way into the mountains just for some dinner?
Edward, Alphonse, come back soon, Kay?
Yes, she just woke up to say bye.
Yeah.
Bless her. We struggle. It would be such a struggle to wake yourself up after 3 days of not sleeping. Okay, episode 6. Very, very nice little episode, I guess, away from the seriousness that that we were accustomed to for the past few episodes. Allows us to sort of take a breather, I suppose. I mean, I guess we did have that little bit with Dr. Marco, but even then it was still like more in the sort of lightheartedness, but you know, talking about the seriousness of everything that happened before. I mean, even we had that little bit where we learned that they did actually burn down their house, which, you know, makes sense in the long run of it, I suppose, because at the end of the day they don't need something holding them back, I suppose. With it not really existing anymore, it allows them to sort of focus their attention elsewhere as opposed to looking back the whole time. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean I said during the reaction, I don't know if it'll turn up in the 10-minute cut version, but yeah, I mean, I don't think they would, even if they had the option to stay there, I don't even think they would, you know what I mean, because it just holds like just that memory, you know what I mean, which is something I haven't even talked about a bit, you know, as of yet. But you know, the idea that that's got to be kind of tough as well, because they actually ended up tainting their own memories of that house because of trying to bring their mother back, you know. So everything that was a good memory is like tainted almost because of that, which also sucks. But yeah, so he's ended up getting a new arm. Alphonse is back to normal as well. The arm is not as strong as before though, which I don't think is a throwaway line. The thing is that the one arm that he did have that just got destroyed, I feel like was only destroyed due to Scar basically putting all of his power into deconstruction, which made it so easily destroyed, you know. But now that this one's it's not as strong, I'm kind of worried for it to be like, you know, like just like, I guess lesser alchemists would be able to affect it somehow or get through it in some form or fashion. I guess getting it broken does give them a reason to go back though all the time, you know what I mean? Even though they give the option of like come all the way back for like, you know, just for, you know, to have something to eat. But you know, I don't know exactly how long it is actually away from central Razambul, because the map that we saw last episode, it seemed that they were relatively close, but I don't know. Obviously, you know, that's just basically on a map. It doesn't actually give you scale, so who knows? But yeah, I mean, I thought it was actually interesting last episode. Something I didn't actually talk about was how close it did seem that Razambul and Ishvala actually were. Like Ishvala being in the bottom right corner, Razambul was the closest thing that was named next to them, you know, which just interesting. But I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense then for like, you know, I guess the you know, Winry's parents being that close, they would obviously be affected by the Civil War a lot, you know, so yeah, interesting. It's also interesting, I guess, that Dr. Marco, with him being sort of on the way through to Razambul, that he actually didn't get that far away from the Civil War where it was most prevalent, to be honest, because, you know, if that was just to the left of, you know, it had to be like on obviously the straight route that the train takes. So yeah, en route through. This is going to be interesting though, because speaking of Dr. Marco, who tried to find like medicinal purposes, I guess, or applications of alchemy, and ended up getting there through the use of the Philosopher's Stone, or at least a segment of it. Something like, you know, the fact that it's like sort of globular, it means that, you know, take many forms, but at the end of the day it's incomplete, and it's something that doesn't, or maybe, I don't know if it's a case of like something that has not, like, never existed before, but the fact of like it's in there as legend is like something that can't, like, that has been around, which is something that I thought was what we were looking for. I thought that it would already be something that we could, you know, go and find an object as opposed to actually creating. So that was interesting. The fact that we are sort of on the road now, as opposed to finding a Philosopher's Stone, to finding the sort of, I guess, ingredients, or getting the research that Dr. Marco put in the library to essentially assist Edward in creating a Philosopher's Stone as opposed to finding it. So, you know, there is that. But the thing is that I feel like with Lust, or whatever her name is, turning up at Dr. Marco's place, I hope he's going to be alright, but I feel like she's going to, even if he still is alive afterwards, I feel like he's not going to have that incomplete Philosopher's Stone much longer. So, you know, there is that. But yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Edward and Alphonse and everything like that was basically saying like they wouldn't deprive the town of their doctor, or those medicinal means because of that Philosopher's Stone, just to satiate like their own sort of appetite for having their own Philosopher's Stone, you know what I mean? Because it could help them in the long run. So yeah, it's really, really cool. And also, you know, Armstrong being there and basically confirming that he's not gonna grass him out, to the other state alchemists in Central, and just let him live like his own life away from war, because we got kind of first-hand talks with Armstrong about how he feels about the war as well, and it's not something that is just him. It seems as like, I don't know, because we haven't met a state alchemist yet that actually enjoyed the war, so it's like, it's interesting. I mean, I know that in episode 1 with McDougal, he talked about how he wanted to kill the Führer. He thought that like the Führer was the one that issued the order, and therefore he's the one true sort of bad guy that started everything. But yeah, I mean, the Führer doesn't really give away much, so at least as of yet. I mean, we're in episode 6, but I would like to get some of his sort of insight on it anyway, just to see the reasons why. I mean, because a lot of reasons why war starts and everything like that is that you're basically using violence to make peace, which can be a strange thing to think about, a strange way of doing things, but yeah, it's what humanity does really in the end, isn't it? So there is that. Right, what else? Yeah, so Dr. Marco basically almost nearly gave up on even giving up that information or that research to Edward, based upon the fact that he calls it the devil's research, which, first-hand experience that he had, which he ended up using it to, basically cause carnage and atrocities and everything like that, as opposed to help people. That's why he calls it the devil's research. But I think even extending past that, I think it's more of a case of like something that is so powerful that it to even create it is like, he thinks it just wouldn't be good in general, because even if Edward did create it, is there a way to unmake a Philosopher's Stone? Because of the fact of it being so powerful, like, I wonder even if once you created it, could it be destroyed? That's the thing, isn't it? Because I don't know if it could be, because it doesn't work by the laws of the equivalent exchange. So therefore, could it even be deconstructed? I don't know. But that's the thing, is like, if it was to create it and it got into the wrong hands, that could just spell the end of everything. You know what I mean? So you don't know to what degree the Philosopher's Stone can actually affect things. Like, it's sort of the influence of whatever that thing can do to like multiply whatever. I mean, we've seen what the limited versions can do, or the ones that have limits. So an unlimited one, I just feel like could cause disaster. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's something we're just gonna have to wait on, because the idea is that like the main goal for the Elric's trying to get their bodies back, and the Philosopher's Stone is the way that they think they can do it, meaning that's the main goal for them, which means that we couldn't even get a Philosopher's Stone until like episode 60 or something. So we've got a long way to go. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really have anything else to really talk about. I mean, yeah, I'm going to start calling, I guess, Central, since that's how they talk about it, and everything like that. And also, I'm interested to see when we go elsewhere on the map, because of all of the places that we actually know of, they're all situated in very close proximity to each other. It seems like on the very bottom right of the map. And yeah, I would like to see if we go further than that. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything. Armstrong's proper in tune with his emotional side, and that's it's just great. You know, well, I think he's a really good dude. So yeah, I'm glad that we got like him to come along for you know, for protection, everything like that, and yeah, get a bit more time with him. But we continue on next time. So yeah, a bit of a lesser discussion, but I mean that was pretty much all I really needed to talk about. You know, like I said, it was sort of like a breather episode from what we've had previously. So you know, nothing really much to discuss more than what I've already discussed there. But yeah, I mean, all my theories and everything like that were in like episode 5 and previous. You know, but we've got the new arm now. Alphonse is back to normal, so now it's just a case of continuing on. Go to the library next. So yeah, if you do want to see my reactions to episode 7 and 8 right now, you can do by becoming an early access tier patron over on my Patreon. It's $5 a month. It gives you access to shows a week early. There's also the full length tier, $10 a month. That gives you access to shows in full, so my full reactions to the shows, not just the 10-minute cut versions. And then there is the exclusive tier, which gives you access to movie reactions and things like that. So yeah, keep an eye out for movie reactions coming out very, very soon. And that is all I've got, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.